Welcome back to the Wellness Check, a place to check your wellness, to learn tips and tools for a sound mind, a strong heart, and a healing soul. My name is Katie Porter. I've been a therapist for over 10 years, and today I wanted to share with you an extension off of my last video that was talking about the ATE, the 8 principle. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. It's really informative for all things emotion regulation and awareness. It's really cool. But it brought to my mind an idea to also share with you some ideas for what we can actually do for the expression part. How do we handle and manage the emotions that we're feeling, particularly if they're negative or heavy or really difficult. And if we've had a tendency to avoid them or push them away, neglect them in any sort of way, they tend to come back twofold, threefold, and in really typically unfavorable ways. So I primarily work with severe and complex trauma, eating disorders, all things relationship to body and food, anxiety, PTSD, depression, you name it. And one thing that I love helping people with is beginning to take care of themselves through adversity and stress. So if you're an individual who has gone through tough things, no matter how intense or maybe minuscule it seems, it has an effect on us. And we, through our lifespan, develop a tendency to cope. We cope and manage all the time with our thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And we tend to do these in maybe positive ways. Maybe we'll go outside, we'll go for a walk, we'll get some sunshine therapy is what I call it, or some wind therapy. Maybe we'll read a book, maybe we'll go for a run, whatever it is. We also tend to cope with and manage our emotions, sometimes in unfavorable ways. So that can look like anything. That can look like self-sabotage, irritability, pushing people away, having issues with trusting one's own intuition or others' motives. It can look like I said in the last video, addiction to whatever. Smartphones, devices, social media, gambling, substance use. The list goes on and on. So I wanted to take some time and discuss with you guys some ways to start rethinking how you're coping with and managing the stress that builds up with you throughout the day and throughout the week. We all have it. I want you to pay very, very special attention to the thoughts and the words that you're saying to yourself about yourself, particularly when you're stressed, angry, overwhelmed, irritable. My belief is if we're talking about anything, behavior change, meaning I want to change this behavior, this reaction that I have, the first step is always awareness. And a lot of us aren't even aware that we're doing it. We're saying really mean, critical things to ourselves. We're setting ourselves up for failure here or there, or sabotage here or there. So that's the first thing we need to do is bring in awareness. Understand what it is that you're saying to yourself about yourself. What does it sound like? Because I'm telling you right now, the more you say the negative, critical things, the more your body, mind, and soul is going to believe it. I would even challenge you so far as to ask yourself, where did these comments and beliefs come from? Are these things that I have told myself throughout the years? Did someone make me feel this way or say these things to me throughout my life in a relationship or when I was growing up? Ask yourself, where did they come from? And decide if it's really still serving you. These thoughts, these feelings, these beliefs. I'm not good enough. I should be doing better. I'm a failure. I'm permanently damaged. I'm in danger. I can't safely feel or show my emotions. I can't trust my judgment. Think about those things. The more we say them, the more believable that's going to be for us. We're basically just widening the road for that to be our narrative and our story, which then becomes our lens for the entire world, right? How we see the world, how we react to the things around us and the people around us. So really, this is maybe an inventory for you to examine what you do with your negative or critical thoughts and how that impacts your day. And when it comes to expressing them, even if it's through avoidance, right? What are you doing? How are you avoiding? How are you pushing it away? Or by contrast, how are you really letting it out? And if it is in a way that is punitive, if it's in a way that is lending to more criticism or negativity about yourself or the world around you, we need to take a look at it. Expression is a huge part of what makes us the most sophisticated mammals here on Earth. We have an ability to retrain our brains to express things in a more favorable way. Truthfully, many of us don't believe that we're worth it. I hear it all the time, every single day. We don't take care of ourselves because deep, deep down, we don't feel like we are worthy of being taken care of by ourselves or by anyone else. Truthfully, it can be extremely uncomfortable to begin to be compassionate and patient and kind to yourself again, if that's something that you haven't ever done or haven't done in a long time. It can literally feel icky. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. One of my philosophies in the counseling world is if it makes you uncomfortable, you probably should be doing it. Because that's how you know you're growing and stepping outside of what you know is your comfort, which, by the way, can have negative things in it. Just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's healthy. Okay, so this is your homework. This is part of your wellness check. I want you to really inventory and examine and begin to become curious about how you react to stressful situations. First, by looking at what you're saying to yourself about yourself. If it's negative, if it's critical, if it's going in a belief system that isn't going to be helpful for you down the road, take a moment, take a beat, understand where it's coming from. How old is this? How long has this been happening? Where did it come from? And slowly begin to make a change right then and there of how can I feel this, express this, and understand this in a way that helps me to grow, that challenges me out of my comfort zone. Instead of turning to the negative vices of XYZ that we discussed before, what can I do differently? Even if it makes me uncomfortable when I'm already feeling overwhelmed. And what you'll notice is that time after time after time that you try this, it becomes easier and easier and easier. It becomes less uncomfortable. The thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs that you have begin to rearrange themselves into something at the very least is neutral instead of negative. Ideally positive and encouraging and supportive for yourself and the world around you. Behavior change is all about awareness, keying into what it is that you're doing, how you're doing it, what you're saying, how you're responding, and making a mindful decision to say, enough is enough with that. I can feel this and experience this and take care of myself through it. And with this particular thought, feeling, or belief, this is what I'm going to choose to do. I'm uncomfortable. I'd rather do X, Y, Z. But today I'm going to choose to do this. Just try it. Just try it and see what happens. I would love to know your reviews on this. If this was helpful, it's going to take practice. It's going to take practice. So please have some patience with yourself and let me know how you guys are doing with it. Thank you for stepping in to check your wellness today. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.